Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to be looking at a few modules that can potentially help you out in combat. They are as follows: the Multi-Attack module, Mob Attack, as well as D&D5E Helpers. We'll go ahead and get started with the Mob Attack module and then move on from there. I will not be going into depth on it today, but I'm also using the Combat Numbers module as well, which displays numbers whenever the enemies are hit or your players are hit, or when the enemies are healed or your players are healed. You can easily adjust if you want it to be used on the left hand side by pausing it, and you can even go into the settings and change how they are displayed, configuring the appearance right here. So sometimes in D&D you may have a number of combatants and you want to deal with them all in the same turn rather than having to deal with them each individually. This may be potentially the case for like wolves that are summoned by a druid or a similar situation. Here I have a number of acolytes and I'm choosing to have them all act on the same turn. So first I'm going to select all of them by shift clicking. Next, I'm going to target the giant crab who they're going to be attacking. And then I'm going to go over to the left-hand side and click Mob Attack. Now we see here it pops up. You have selected 3 tokens. Your target has an AC of 15. It shows me which token I'm using, and I can choose which attack I want to use as well. Let's go take a look at the rolls as they come in. We see 3 attackers versus 3 needed. And 1 attack hits the giant crab and the damage is dealt. So out of the 3, only 1 went through. In case you aren't familiar with it, what this is using is it is using the DMG rules on mob attacks, which compares the AC of the target and the number of attackers and the attack bonus of those attackers. So for each of these 2 attackers, 1 will hit. So if I had a group of 4, 2 would hit. We can go ahead and see that very easily. Like so. Here we are, 4 attackers, 2 needed, 2 attacks hit. If you are using this module, it really only works if the attackers have the same attack bonus. You don't want to mix and match for different attack bonuses across different characters. Moving on, the next module we're going to look at is the Multi-Attack module. This will take multiple attacks on a character or NPC and put them all together. So same as before, we're just going to select 1 token, target our enemy, go to the left hand side to the fist, click the fist icon, and select how many attacks we want to use, and then check the box. So this will make 2 club attacks after I hit multi-attack. There's 1, and there's 2. And we can see both of them hit, and it automatically calculated the attack and damage because I'm using MIDI QOL. The last module we'll be looking at is D&D5E Helpers. This one adds in a few different things that can affect combat, such as template scaling, cover, wild magic, as well as regeneration and undead fortitude. The ones that we're going to be covering today, though, out of this are the cover mechanics, undead fortitude, and regeneration. Let's go and get started first and see how the cover system works. So on the scene I have my player character, and I have the zombie. Notice how I've also added in a wall between the player character and the zombie right now. This is to cause the cover to take effect. So if I select my character and attempt to target, it's going to let me know. I check the sightline and there is full cover. But if the zombie were to move out and I were to check again, right now it has no cover. So this will automatically adapt to the situation, adapt to the environment, and adapt the AC as well. As a note, by default, it may detail more information than you want to for the players, but you can hide it right here. Hide GM info from cover reports, replacing the NPC's names with a creature. Next, we're going to take a look at the undead fortitude, and in order to see this, we'll go ahead and have to kill off our zombie. So with our zombie at low health, we're going to go ahead and go in for the killing blow. and we will see what happens after the zombie hits 0 health. It's going to ask us, the GM, whether this was radiant damage or a critical hit, or whether it was normal damage. It was normal damage. So we need to roll a Constitution saving throw. The zombie survives with a 17, so they go back up to 1 health. And for our topic today, some monsters in D&D have automatic regeneration, meaning that they regenerate unless something has happened to them. So I brought in a vampire, and I've checked automatic regeneration here. We'll go ahead and start the combat after the vampire has been hit. So the player character just finished his turn, and the vampire is wounded. And at the start of the vampire's turn, we see vampire currently has 122 out of 144 HP. I can either apply healing of 20 or do not heal, which if there are any conditions where the vampire would not regenerate, I can choose this option, or I can heal 20 right away. This works with a number of the monsters that have similar healing abilities. Alright, that is all we're going to cover in today's video. There are a number of other options that you can play around with the DD5E Helpers, so take a look and see if there are any of those features you want to bring into your game. Thanks for everyone for listening, and I hope you can use some of these modules in your own games.